Says the resources, if our country, need to be taken from the hands of a few and placed in the public treasury. The resources of the country, need to be taken from the hands of a few and placed in the public treasury is what he's saying. Gentlemen, thank you all very, very much. Carlos Reed, Ricardo Lees, Ramont Ramsey, and Troy Clark, thank you all so much. It's been 2 days of an incredible conversation. Obviously, we have only touched the surface of it, but we just attempted to have it, and perhaps we'll revisit this again. Thank you all so much as well for hanging out this week and supporting the show. Everybody have a great weekend. God bless. Stay close to news at 6 is straight ahead.
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Transformation, yeah, we got.
Boy, you should see this cute little honey of a poodle like dating now, you know.
What, you with another girlfriend? Man, what happened to the last dog you was going out with?
Man, I had to dump her, but she's getting too clingy.
Well, I hope you protecting yourself.
Yeah, you see, I don't let none of them know where I live.
No, man, I don't mean so they don't find you. I mean getting yourself neutered so you don't have a little bunch of spots running all around.
Man, I ain't worry about that. I is man. I know what I doing.
Yeah, famous last words. Well, I guess you ain't hear what happened to Skippy, eh?
What? What happened to Skippy?
Well, let's just say he ain't skipping around no more. He ain't get himself neutered. Now he in the doghouse with a wife and 9 puppies.
Man, I gotta get myself neutered, but you know I like to run free.
Wait, ain't that your old girlfriend Fifi coming behind you?
Keep the stray dog population down in the Bahamas. Make sure your dog has been spayed or neutered. Let's make it Bahamian to be humane.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas Humane Society and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
Agent, before we send you out in the world, we must make sure that your mission is in. Yes, ma'am! Agent 1, what is a touch? Physical contact, ma'am. Agent 2, what is a good touch? Touches that make you feel alright, ma'am. Such as? A high five, a handshake, even a kiss, ma'am. Good. Now, Agent 3, what is a bad touch? Touches that make you feel not so good, ma'am. Like a slap, a kick, a pinch, and most important, if someone touches your private part. And what do we do when someone gives us a bad touch? We tell a trusted adult, ma'am, for help, ma'am. Tell them, don't do that, ma'am. Agent, I see that you understand. Now it's your mission to spread this information. Just remember that good touches are okay, and bad touches are not okay. So, Agent, go spread the word. Yes, ma'am.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, Fidelity Bank donating hundreds of emergency kits to assist with hurricane preparedness efforts. And thousands of young people participated in the Urban Renewal Summer Camp this year.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Minister of Health, Dr. the Honorable Dwayne Sands, confirming to ZNS News that as of today, the Ministry of Health has recorded 20 confirmed cases of conch poisoning here in New Providence. He also noted that there are also 20 possible cases that meet the clinical case definition, but do not have laboratory confirmation. It was 2 weeks ago when health officials initially confirmed 4 cases of conch poisoning and advised Bahamians to reduce their chances of being a statistic. Today, our news team went to the Cay Dock and spoke with manager responsible for the Cay fish and food vendors, Gregory Minnis Sr., who told us that he personally handed out flyers on Friday advising vendors on how to serve conch to their customers.
The conch poisoning is a sad situation, and we're trying to rectify that right now by asking all conch vendors not to take the conch out of the shell until it's ordered. And let's see how best we can do that. I know a lot of these stores out here are busy on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so a lot of them take the conch out, put it in the bucket, and it'll be there for a while. And then the bacteria, like Dr. Sands says, it hit the conch, and then it's difficult to even washing it off if you put it in fresh water.
Minnis says he is hoping that the conch poisoning doesn't harm the industry.
The patrons will not stop coming to Port Ski for conch salad because there are good conch vendors out there who understand the industry, and they're doing their best to make sure that their customers are safe.
In other news tonight, Bahamian musical legends Eric Gibson and John Berkeley Peanuts Taylor forever have a presence at University of the Bahamas after statues of the men were unveiled at its Legends Garden last evening. Family and friends of the musicians gathered at the university's campus, some taking the stage to sing the songs of the musicians and reminisce on the lasting impact they made on the Bahamian music scene. The University of the Bahamas president, Dr. Rodney Smith, says Bahamians for generations to come, will be able to learn more about the musicians.
For this area to be the performing arts hub of the university and in the country as a whole. So we're very, very happy about this event. We're inviting the public to actually come during our normal working hours to explore this garden, to experience these 3 statues face to face, up close, in the reality of what their lives actually meant for our country.
Meantime, King Eric's son, Shane Gibson, announced an annual $5,000 scholarship in memory of his father. After opening the Legends Garden, the university's president says there are plans to further highlight Bahamian culture across the campus.
We have been very fortunate in that we recently hired Mr. Antonius Roberts as our university arts curator. And Mr. Roberts is actually going to be moving throughout our entire campus and creating the kind of cultural atmosphere that enriches the university campus.
Fidelity Bank Bahamas donated 300 emergency kits to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to assist with hurricane preparedness. Each kit comprises a flashlight, batteries, plastic bags for important documents, first aid kits, cell phone chargers, multi-purpose pocket knife radios, a list of emergency contacts, and other essential items. Chairman of Fidelity's Internal Audit Donations Committee and Chief Compliance Officer Tangela Aubrey made the donation.
As part of Fidelity's community giving initiatives, we thought it was important to support NEMA's efforts in making persons in the community aware of the preparedness needs during the hurricane season, and certainly help with getting them ready. So we've partnered with NEMA over the last few months to identify a list of critical items needed for hurricane preparedness. We were able to source those items as part of several hundred hurricane kits.
Meanwhile, National Emergency Management Agency Director Captain Stephen Russell is very grateful for the donation.
If you need to move, you just grab your package and go, whether you go into a shelter or you go into some other place where you would stay if you find that your home, your property is most likely to be compromised. And some handy items that are there that can really serve a very good purpose as you try to weather a storm or immediately in the aftermath of a storm. And we're truly appreciative of the fine gesture. I'm quite sure the persons, whether senior citizens, persons from our disaster committees throughout the islands, as well as persons that will be identified by the Department of Social Services who would need them in various communities. So
First at 6, the Bahamas Humane Society is teeming with dogs and puppies. You may want to select one to take home. Find out what you need to do to adopt.
When school ends, BTC summer vacation begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
I flying over season. When she touch down, she not stop call me. And I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no cute like a Bob Marley. Me fix them.
Freedom to mix and, of course, mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summer Vacation for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more.
Okay.
BTC, the bigger, better network.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
Here comes the lucky guy who won a date with Fanchon to his prom.
KFC got the big deal meal, freshly handmade every day for real.
Made fresh every day?
What a sec, what you take? KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a real big deal. KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a
now that's a big deal.
Hey, it's a real big deal. Hey, it's a real big deal.
Over the Hill is a place that Salem Union Baptist Church is making an impact upon. We see the results of it in terms of resolution of criminal activity, and also the positivity of the people that live here. And so we look forward to this partnership with the government. Thank you.
The proceeding was brought to you courtesy of the Over the Hill project.
Now, Vanessa, you look stressed though.
Girl, listen, I here on my little piece of lunch break trying to pay these bills. I gotta go head to BTC, then I gotta go fly to BEC, and then I gotta go swim to Water and Sewage.
Girl, look, save your time and your gas, all right? Make one stop.
How? Take your backside to Cash and Go. You pay all 3 of them bills one time. It's one line, one place, with a bunch of locations. You think I should go now?
Vanessa, you ain't reached yet? Cash and Go. Fast, free, convenient. Call 322-CASH for more information.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
3,000 children around the country participated in the Urban Renewal Summer Camp this year. Today, a closing out ceremony was held at the Evangelistic Temple. Crystal Darling has a story.
A number of urban renewal centers across the country have been busy conducting an urban renewal summer camp for children of all ages. Under the theme Urban Adventures Exploring Our Cultural Heritage, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, Patricia Francis, told participants at the closing ceremony of the Urban Renewal Summer Camp Friday that one of the primary goals of this year's camp was to teach developmental skills, while Minister of Labor, Senator Honorable Dion Folks, who spoke on behalf of the Prime Minister, added that the program's educational aspect was also beneficial.
The whole idea was to ensure that they walked away from this camp with some skill. And the skill might have been making some type of craft. It might have been the straw basket. It may have been the shell craft. Any number of things that we call Bahamian that they can in the future use as an opportunity for entrepreneurship. We plant the seed.
One of the main things that interests me is the whole aspect of cultural appreciation. All of the young kids that you see here today, over 2,000 of them, were exposed to our national symbols, for example. The flag, the national tree, the national bird. More importantly, they also learn a lot of cultural things during this session.
Supporting the children of his constituency, Member of Parliament for Fort Charlotte, Mark Humes, says educational camps like this continue to keep children occupied during the summer months.
Idle hands are the devil's playground. And it's important that we engage our youth. In addition to occupying their idle time, they also learn valuable skills that they can take at each level of their lives. And so I think that's one of the most important reasons. There's a lot of camaraderie and friendship, of the individuals in the community when they come together like this. And so it's also good to foster their ability to interact, their social skills as well.
2 urban renewal campers shared their favorite parts of the summer camp experience with us.
I was able to meet new people and socialize. And I actually made at least 3 or 4 best friends. I love making pillows, and that's my passion. Between cooking and making things, I love making pillows.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
Bahamas Striping providing students of Inagua with the necessary school supplies to start off the new term. Company CEO Atario Mitchell says every year they reach out to the community, and this year while working in Inagua, they decided to provide the students there with some tools to assist in their educational journey.
Well, we see ourselves as a corporate citizen, and it's always good for corporate Bahamas to give back. We use back to school as a way to give back because we know times are hard out there, and this is one less thing that the parents should have to worry about, where they're going to get their book packs and pencils and pen from. So we just wanted to be a good corporate citizen and then helping out.
Island Administrator Julita Ingram says she was grateful for the donation.
I'd like to say a special thank you to the Bahama Striping Group for considering the students of Matthewtown Inagua for giving us the packages with books, pencils, and pen. I know we have 200 plus students between primary, because it's an all-age school for primary, and to 12th graders. So it will come to those parents, particularly single parents, or those persons who are unemployed in the community of Inagua at this time with children.
There are scores of pets up for adoption at the Bahamas Humane Society in Chippingham. In fact, you can take a dog or puppy home possibly for free. Jiminy DeSwain visited the center today.
That's probably the sound of an anxious dog looking for a new home, but there are hundreds of pets available for adoption at the Bahamas Humane Society. The woman behind the adoption process is Fiona Moody.
Well, right now we have roughly 160, maybe 170 dogs and puppies, and about the same cats and kittens. So we do have a full house, but we do have a steady flow of animals, pets going out. Due to the summer vacations, kids are home, and it's the ideal time to do an adoption.
Moody says she's optimistic that many animals will find a new home. In fact, many are ready to go right now.
All of the puppies in the puppy section could go this weekend, but we have 5 of them that we've detailed. They could go right now, today, and they're about 4 months old. They're pot cakes, spayed and neutered. All of our animals have to be spayed and neutered before they leave. They've had all of the 4 of their puppy vaccines and a rabies vaccine. But ahead of that procedure, we would have to have had done a yard check. We have to check that you do have a properly secured, fenced-in yard with your gates closed, please.
The puppy area and the yard seems inundated with new pets just waiting to be taken to a new home. And just in case you're wondering if a cost is attached,
right now we're doing free dogs and puppies for the month of July. So you can come do your application at any time between 8 to 4 or some days 8 to 5, but the adoption hours are during the week 11 to 4. and on a Saturday from 10 till 4.
So as Fiona told us, Reggie and many others are ready to go and to find a new home. So all you need to do is fill out an application form and ensure that your home is pet ready. Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
And stay with us. Sports is up next.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
If you've lost your visa, call the law office of Donette Russell Love PL. My full-service immigration firm can help you if you've been denied a visa due to deportation or removal, prior conviction or arrest while in the U.S., working without work authorization, or visa overstay. I may be able to help you get your visa privileges restored. Call my office today at 954-449-1833 or visit us at drusselllove.com.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. History made today on the IAAF Diamond League circuit in Monaco. Shawnee Miller-Weibo running a world-leading time, and she broke the national record, winning the women's 400 meters in 48.97 seconds. With that performance, Miller became just the 10th woman ever to run under the 49-second barrier. The old national record of 49.07 was held by Tony Williams-Darling, and that was set back in 2004 in Berlin. Also competing today in Monaco was high jumper Donald Thomas. He finished in a tie for 5th. He cleared 7.5 1/4. On to some tennis news now. Team Bahamas finishing up pool play today at their Group 2 Fed Cup tie in Ecuador. That was a perfect 3-0 after sweeping Bermuda. Danielle Thompson took to the court first, and she scored a 6-love, 6-1 victory. In the second rubber, Carrie Cartwright didn't even drop a game, winning 6-love and love. As for the doubles, Simone Pratt and Sierra Donaldson, an easy straight set win as well, 6-1 and 1. The Bahamas now on to the promotional round as they look to get back to Group 1 in 2019. On to the minor league baseball diamond now. Jazrael Chisholm was promoted to Single A Advanced League and now playing with the Visalia Rawhide. He didn't waste any time getting comfortable, 1 for 4, that hit a triple, and he scored a run in the team's 5-2 win over Inland Empire. Anthony Seymour and Lucius Fox on opposite benches. Seymour, 1 for 4, a triple. 3 runs batted in, 2 runs scored, and stole his 19th base of the season. Jupiter getting the best of Charlotte, 10-4. Fox went 1 for 4 in that one. Todd Isaacs was 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, and stole his 20th base of the season in Lake County's 8-1 win over Clinton. Rashad Monroe 2 for 5, a run scored, and stealing his 17th base as Billings lost 7-6 to Grand Junction. Chavez Young was 1 for 5 as Lansing beat Peoria 7-3. In the Arizona League, Christian Robinson 2 for 5, hitting his second home run. Also had 2 runs batted in the Diamondbacks' 9-8 win over the Indians. Deshaun Knowles 3 for 5 as the Angels double up the Mariners 6-3. Meantime, in the Dominican League, Devon Mackey 1 for 3, a run scored in the Athletics' 5-1 win over the Dodgers. And Keith Ron Moss 0 for 2, a run scored as the Rangers won 6-1 over the Red Sox. Well, competition underway for Team Bahamas at the Central American and Caribbean Games in Colombia. Swimming up first, Joanna Evans making a splash in the pool, touching the wall first in her heat of the 400 free in 4:16.33. That's the fastest qualifier heading into tonight's final. 2 swimmers also making it through to the finals of the women's 100 breaststroke. Lily Higgs winning her heat in 1:13.32. Laura Morley swam a faster time, 1:11.79 to finish second in her heat. Elsewhere, Cohen Kerr 6th in his 100 freestyle prelim in 52.58, and he did not advance. The Independence Valley 8-ball tournament taking place this weekend at the Boom Boom Room on 6th Terrace, Centerville. The tournament is being held in honor of Sidney Captain Easy Bain, who first brought the Valley 8-ball concept to the capital back in 1994.
What they're doing, they're putting a motivational system into pool so that the young people can really see what pool is all about and play pool to the highest level. Okay, because when they go to Las Vegas, they'll meet up with guys who are like world class. You know, the guys you see on TV were shooting for $40,000 and $50,000. These guys can accomplish that as well. And these guys are doing that this week. And I'm going to tell you, right now we have teams and players from Freeport, Abaco, Long Island, New Providence. So this is considered a national tournament, you see? So where the best of the best can harness their skills and really participate at a high level.
2 games on the schedule last night in the New Providence Softball Association. The Johnson Truckers shutting out the Alive Strikers 15-0 in the ladies opener. For the Truckers, Dawn Woodside 1 for 2, 2 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. Chavette Taylor also 1 for 2, 2 runs batted in and 3 runs scored. As for the men, BTC winning by default over the Commander Security Truckers after the Truckers used an ineligible player. Well, they have fast pitch softball action tonight in Eleuthera, 7:30 at the Twin City Arena in North Palmetto Point. The Twin City Golden Pines up against the JC Ravens. That's followed by the Palmetto Point Panthers and the JC Blue Water Jets. Here in the capital, 3 games tonight in the Bahamas Government Departmental Basketball Association. The Game Changers opening up against the Department of Correction Challengers. Real Deal Rangers follow against the Aces. The Panthers and the Police Crime Stoppers play in the nightcap. From the WNBA, John Quell Jones and the 12-11 Connecticut Sun, they will be back on the floor tonight. They're at home against the 17-6 Seattle Storm. And the greatest boxer of all time from here in the Bahamas and former world champion Elijah Obey will be laid to rest tomorrow following a service at Golden Gates Outreach Ministries on Carmichael Road at 11 a.m. Interment will follow at Lakeview Memorial Gardens. And that will do it for Sports at 6. Stay tuned. We'll have more after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
What things do you value? Even if we value something, we can still lose or misplace it, like a credit card. You can freeze your Visa credit or debit card from CIBC First Caribbean in a flash to stop unauthorized use. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
When school ends, BTC summer vacation begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
I flying over season. When she touch down, she not stop calling me. I
Man, I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no cute like a Bob Marley. Me fix them.
Freedom to mix and, of course, mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summer Vacation for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more.
Okay.
BTC, the bigger, better network.
James Aubrey. Now that Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the family islands, what are your summer vacation plans?
I'm going to Abaco.
And there is no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the family islands from Nassau. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the family islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com and fly or cruise free to the family islands today.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, the tropics is quiet. Upper level winds still fairly strong, keeping a damper on development in the tropics. And then closer to home, have that mid to low level trough still influencing some showers over the upper portion of the northwest Bahamas. Otherwise, high pressure remains in control of the remainder of the 700 islands. Tonight, outside of our studios, 86 degrees is the temperature under partly sunny skies, relative humidity 65%. The winds are out of the south-southeast at 13 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,016.7 millibars. That's 30.02 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
And that's news in the Bahamas tonight, first at 6, but don't go anywhere. News from the north is up next.
Police chief giving an update on the deadly hit-and-run accident. Residents giving their take on medical marijuana. And a young girl creating a business of her own.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Shoshina Wolfarkas, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news tonight, Grand Bahamas Police Chief giving a progress report on the investigation into that hit-and-run accident that claimed the life of a young man earlier this week. The top cop says while they are making inroads in the probe, he is advising all road users to exercise vigilance in the streets at all times. Italia Hall has our top story. The hit-and-run accident claimed the life of Days later, his parents officially identified his body after filing a missing persons report. Assistant Commissioner of Police Samuel Butler says that in circumstances like these, the public must be sensitive towards the victim's family. And as it relates to the investigation, he says it is progressing.
You know that we have to follow due process of investigation, due process of the law. We have, in the first instance, a person or a driver of interest that we've had in our custody already. We've had our initial interview with that individual, and now before we can go any further with that individual, we have to continue to bring together our scientific arrangement of evidence, and which is well on its way in terms of our draftman completing his work, in terms of the pathologist laying the pathologist's report, and those things are coming together quite quickly, and we will make a determination.
Unconfirmed reports say a second driver may have been involved in the fatal accident.
There may have been a second person that we want to be able to seek out based But I won't go further than that until our scientific evidence has brought some conclusion to confirm that there was a second. But initial reports by witnesses who came to the scene after kind of gave us direction that there may have been a second vehicle. Speaking to the first person, they gave some account that may suggest a second person may have been involved. We are following those leads.
Now, in light of the situation, ACP Butler is advising all motorists and pedestrians to always be vigilant while traversing the streets.
Walk safely on the side of the street. Be careful of where you would cross the street. I also want to make the appeal to drivers. I know that sometimes that you're trying to get to your destination with a scope of time. Certainly if you leave in time and you pace your proper driving speed, you'll be able to deliver yourself safely to your destination.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Natalia Hall.
Thank you, Tally. Well, a boating accident in West Grand Bahama this afternoon has left an American visitor with serious injuries. Unconfirmed reports say the incident occurred shortly before 3 p.m. in the area of the Blue Marlin Cove Marina, and it involved 2 U.S. registered vessels. Now, according to reports, 3 visitors were swimming when the second vessel came along, and one of the swimmers sustained injuries resulting in one of his arms being amputated. The injured visitor was then taken to the local hospital and is being attended to by medical officials. Police say investigations are continuing. Switching gears now, the conversation concerning the legalization of medicinal marijuana continues. Our Kimberly Mullings took to social media to find out how Bahamians feel about this issue.
On Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, in a yes or no poll, ZNS News asked, as long as adequate research is done with supporting evidence that it works, do you believe that marijuana should be legalized for medicinal purposes in the Bahamas? We received 548 responses. 507 people voted yes, and 41 people voted no. Here are some of the answers we received. On Twitter, SmileAWhile242 says, it should just be legal for smoking purposes. Hella Ella Chill says its versatility in terms of what it can be mixed, cooked, or blended with to reduce stress, anxiety, chronic pain, spasms, glaucoma, epileptic seizures, Dravet syndrome, isolate cancer, slows Alzheimer's, reduce multiple sclerosis pain, hepatitis C, and arthritis. The list goes on. 44 Duddy, not for medicinal purposes, the Bahamian government doesn't encourage scientific research and data collections, which renders them incompetent regardless of accolades, because then they would rely on other voices to stabilize such a vast economy. Wayne Perry, 56A, says, if not just to criminalize it. On Facebook, Reno Curtis says, what adequate research needs to be done? When the world has already proven medical marijuana works, not a single dollar needs to be spent on more research. Just legalize weed. Stacy Miller says, with all the other pressing issues in this country, we shouldn't waste time about a drug that people only want to use legally for recreational purposes. This is an absolute distraction from what we as a people need to be about. What about producing our own food? What about empowering our workforce so that we can have skilled workers? What about restructuring our educational system? What about better wages for our college graduates so that they stay home and build this country? Stop wasting time on drugs. Teach people how to avoid sickness and disease through education and lifestyle change. And on Instagram, Annette Ferguson says, I'd vote yes. Going through health challenges at this time, I believe it could help me, and I've never smoked it in my life. I'd try anything besides these meds that have so many side effects. Feeling Roxy Baby says, yes, but I think we need to take it in baby steps. We should start out by allowing the oils to not skate the lines of being illegal. What's really going to be the issue is so many Bahamians have a criminal history that the people who do it now illegally may not be able to do it legally. 3 Rigsy says, yes, for the people who really could benefit, and no for the ones who will exploit the system by getting medicinal marijuana for simple things like insomnia and appetite, basically made up reasons, because it's going to be one doctor who's only in it for the cash. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Walker's Cay welcoming government officials for an on-site visit yesterday. Representatives from the Bahamas Investment Authority, Ministry of the Environment, Port Authority, Ministry of Finance, the Department of Planning, the Bahamas Power Company, and several others participating in the tour with the Allen family. They were able to view plans that the new owners believe will lead to the reopening and the rebirth of Walker's Cay. Principal owner Carl Allen is a renowned Texas businessman and philanthropist known for building his family-run business from 130 jobs up to nearly 1,000. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
Musicians, churches, nightclubs, Radio Shack is now stocked with heavy-duty power amps, powered speakers, subwoofers, cordless and wired microphones, lavaliers, guitar strings, drumsticks, skins and accessories, guitar and bass amps, DI boxes, crossovers, line conditioners, percussion instruments, clarinet and saxophone reeds, PA systems, mixers, routers, hard drives, sound cards, tablets, MacBook Pro power cords and adapters, and so much more at the new Radio Shack at Dolly Madison Home Center.
Come on down. We've raised the stakes. We've raised the bar. We've raised the standard. Your new entertainment playground. Winners take chances. Chances makes winners. Chances remind you to game responsibly.
We from the Bahamas, sun, sand, and sea. A lot of activities, but for you and me. If you don't believe me, then come follow me. Come right down to this place, and we call it KFC. KFC the big cheese. We got the big cheese. KFC the big cheese. We got the big cheese. No one can beat us at anything we do. No way. Sports, art, soccer, sailing, sleeping, Junkanoo. We got the best beaches, even the best food. I already tell you, that's just how we do. KFC the big cheese. We got the big cheese. KFC the big cheese. We got the big cheese.
Purchase a Big Chief meal today and receive 2 Big Chief collectible cups at all KFC restaurants in Freeport.
Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Pine Ridge Urban Renewal Grounds luring scores of happy campers for the closing out ceremony of the Urban Renewal Summer Camp today. As Ramiko Knowles tells us, campers were encouraged to stay in tune with their Bahamian heritage.
Over the last few weeks, some 700 children from Grand Bahama and Bimini participated in the Urban Renewal Summer Camp. The theme, Urban Adventures Exploring Our Cultural Heritage. Math, English, dance, music, sign language, and conversational Creole are some of what was taught to the campers. Urban Renewal Deputy Director for Grand Bahama and Bimini, Senator Jasmine Darius, says it was an extensive program centered around a Bahamian theme.
I believe that when you train, educate, stimulate, and develop the mind of a child, you impact the life around them, you impact the community around them. And so I'm really excited that the government of the Bahamas, by virtue through the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, would have allowed such an extensive summer camp to go on, because it's in every island in the Bahamas.
On display at the closing out ceremony were a number of cultural pieces made by the campers. Senator Jasmine Darius says it is a sincere hope that a passion and desire has been ignited among the campers to embrace all things Bahamian.
These kids learn how to sew, how to hem. They learn also how to make jewelry out of things that are naturally Bahamian. The coconut. They learn how to use the tips of the can. They learn how to use the sewing and plaiting. And so we wanted to cultivate things Bahamian and cause them to have an appreciation of who they are. And also at the end of the day, one day maybe they may be the next Al Taylor, making industrious bags or even sewing and be among the great fashion designers of the world.
Bringing brief remarks was the Member of Parliament for Monaco City and Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Michael Pintard, telling the campus to be proud of who they are.
These camps are extremely important because many of the cultural artists throughout this country, whether it's musicians, other performing artists, or visual artists, got their start during the summer in many of these camps or in their church groups. So this is extremely important as a training ground. It allows the adults to spot talent, and it allows the young people to discover their gifts. And so today I look forward to encouraging the young people to be proud of who they are.
A camp about embracing all things Bahamian could not be complete without Junkanoo. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Ramiko Knowles.
Thanks, Ramiko. The Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Tourism Educators Industry Internship Program, that came to a close today at the Castaways Resort. The purpose of the program is to give educators additional insight about the tourism sector so they can take what they have learned into the classrooms. Educators had an opportunity to work with over 8 companies involved in the tourism sector, including well-known hotels and tour companies. Superintendent Yvonne Ward and teacher at the Bishop Michael Eldon School, Ernesto Williams, enjoyed the experience.
It's so important that we teach them not only the skills but the attitudes associated with the tourism industry to better prepare them for that industry if they are interested. It's not for the lazy person. It's certainly not for the person who doesn't have the right attitude, because you are the first person that the tourists will meet.
I'm in the private sector, so we network with private and public sector teachers. We're learning different experiences. We're all critical, but we're all offering suggestions and ways to assist not only in our classes, but also in the community at large. Our experience taught us a lot of things. I learned to appreciate foreign languages.
Teacher at the Sister Mary Patricia Junior High School, Sherry Rigby Roll, and math specialist at Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Academy, Patricia Malcolm, say they now have the utmost respect for those who work in the tourism industry.
Well, this week I worked with the Grand Bahama Nature Tours, and it is interesting that I did not know so much about Grand Bahama and what we can actually do on Grand Bahama. And I think that's one thing that I could actually take back as well, because many times we have kids say, well, nothing to do on Grand Bahama, when actually there is, because the tourists experience it every single day.
It incorporates a lot of multitasking. You're not generally in one area, but you just have to give your all wherever you're placed.
Of the various Rotary Clubs on Grand Bahama coming together this week to welcome their district governor, Drew Monahan. The governor is responsible for Grand Bahama and South Florida. A meeting was held at the Geneva's restaurant where he made a special presentation. President of the Rotary Club of Sunrise Grand Bahama, Malvise Capron, says the governor outlined the way forward for the organization and goals for the 2018-2019 year. Well, we do apologize for this technical mistake, but now it's time to ask the doctor.
Hi, I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Marcus asked, when I go to the bathroom, every once in a while I see what looks like blood in my stool, but I have no pain. Is this something I should worry about? Marcus, thanks for your question, which is related to an issue that is more common than you might think. Blood in the stool is caused by bleeding somewhere in your gastrointestinal or GI tract. That's the system that digests and eliminates the food we eat. Bleeding from the lower portion of the GI tract, mainly most of the small intestines, colon, anus, and rectum, can show up in stool, and there are many people who visit doctors' offices or are admitted to the hospitals each year to be treated for conditions related to bleeding. Hemorrhoids, which are enlarged veins in the anal area that can rupture and produce bright red blood, are the most common cause of lower GI bleeding. Anal fissures or tears in the lining of the anus can also cause bleeding and are often very painful. Other conditions like colon polyps, cancer of the colon or rectum, some intestinal infections, Crohn's disease, and ulcerative colitis, which are inflammatory conditions, can all cause bleeding. Some of these can be serious, so if you experience any bleeding while passing stool, please see a doctor or visit one of our community clinics as soon as possible. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Well, and finally in news this evening, an 11-year-old girl creating a refreshing small business that is now serving many throughout Freeport. For the past 3 years, she has been cooling down many, particularly those who work in the scorching summer heat. When she thought she was too young to work at the family business, 11-year-old Shania Roll made the decision to start her own. For 3 years now, the young girl has been the owner of a lemonade stand on Oak Street, servicing many who work in the industrial sector. Shania shares how she came up with this idea.
I was watching TV one day and I saw these little girls doing a lemonade stand in front of their house, and I asked my mom, could I do a lemonade stand? And she was like, okay, but we have to buy the stuff first. And then we went to get the stuff the same day I asked her, and then we started the lemonade stand here at my dad's office.
She says she is surprised to see how her little stand has grown over the years, and the money she says she has made so far is quite impressive.
It has been working out very well. I've made lots of money from the lemonade stand. I have saved it in the bank. Now I have over $1,000 on my bank account.
Shania says she sells lemonade, iced tea, as well as a good old Bahamian homemade switcher. And get this, because she's been so busy, she has had to hire a few employees. The newest, Tiana Miller.
My brother always comes to help me. From I started the lemonade stand, he always was like, Shania, can I come help you do the lemonade stand? And I was like, okay, but don't expect no pay, because I didn't want to pay him.
So are you paying your employees now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So how do you feel about coming here and working at Shania's lemonade stand?
Great.
Why do you feel great?
Because Shania is my friend.
Does Shania pay you?
No.
Business owner Tyrone Lang, along with all of his employees, have supported Shania over the years. Mother Anushka Roll says she is very proud of Shania's dedication.
She's been here now for the past 3 years and she's doing well. And so even though it's a little bit more work in the morning time to help her prepare and everything like that, I have to give a big shout out to her godmother who helps her every morning. I feel good doing it and to support my kids.
Very encouraging when you see a young girl. I remember she just at a table. She has a table, little stuff on top of it, little chips and stuff like now. Now you see, she's growing into a full stand.
Way to go, Shania. And that's it. Look at stories making news. Stay with us. A Check on Sports is up next.
More on Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
Influenza can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Sports tonight is dedicated to little Tiana Miller. We got you. Well, it is regatta time in Grand Bahama, and this year the race is being held in honor of former sales manager here at ZNS and longtime regatta committee member Elizabeth Grant. Jay Philippe joins us now with an update on day one of the Grand Bahama Regatta.
The 23rd annual Grand Bahama Regatta got underway today at Tino Beach. In the waters first with the junior sailors from the Grand Bahama Junior Sailing Club competing in the E-Class group. The C-Class boat captains were all on shore watching the E-Class boat sail. We caught up with Headley Smith out of Exuma to get his take on who's his biggest threat this year.
My biggest competition out here is the former champion. That's the one I aiming at this year. That is Sacrifice, my friend from Long Island. That's the boat that beat me last year, and my aim is to take it back from him this year.
Other captains were also excited about competing for the overall first place prize and have been preparing for months for this weekend. Captain Also Gibson from Acton's believes that he has the best crew to win this year.
I got some of the best crew out there, you know what I mean. My guys, they're ready. This time around we got full crew, so like I said, we expected to do really well in this regatta.
Jay Philippe, ZNS Total Sports.
Tomorrow's action is scheduled to begin at 12 noon, and the official opening ceremony, that is tonight at Out to Sea Restaurant located on East Sunrise Highway. Another summer camp to begin in the month of July for youngsters here on Grand Bahama. Here again is Jay Philippe.
The YMCA is the venue for a summer basketball camp that will be conducted by local coaching legend Derek D.I. Isaacs. It gets underway July 23rd and will take place from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. YMCA Director Karen Johnson says the YMCA saw it fit to introduce a basketball segment this time around.
The YMCA is at it again. You know, our goal is to create the environment for young people to be able to grow and to express themselves. We have a summer camp that's going on right now. The camp itself does not offer basketball on a regular basis, and that's simply because we always left the basketball gym open, allowing those young people to have that social outlet that they can come and play basketball within the rules of the YMCA, and it has been very successful. We have a number of young men who would come out on a daily basis and utilize the facilities.
The camp will run through August 31st. There will be different workstations that would include ball handling, speed and agility, shooting stations, and the art of passing. The campus will be divided into 3 groups: under 12, under 15, and under 17.
The first hour of the camp will be skill sessions, and then we'll divide them up into their ages, and they'll play games. It's free to the community. It will run from ages 5 to 17, but they will be placed in their age groups.
Jay Philippe, ZNS Total Sports.
For persons interested in the camp, you can contact the YMCA at 352-7074 or 352-7075. That's a check on sports.
Visit
business owners are excited about ZNS Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
Everybody, are you on TV? Look, are you on TV? Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Fontaine, do you see me? Are you on television? I gotta tell my girlfriend are you on television?
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, are you on television? I don't have a TV in there.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. Alright, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up and phone over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss, I just star now. I still gotta pay.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshana Rolfe-Arkeson. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Tonight, the National Report, getting a handle on conch poisoning, how vendors are taking the matter in hand. A new and improved Cay Dock on the horizon, and increased enrollment at UB as the institution prepares for a new degree of advancement. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
Health officials continue to monitor possible cases of conch poisoning. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, Health Minister Dr. the Honorable Dwayne Sands confirming to ZNS News that as of today, the Ministry of Health has recorded 20 confirmed cases of conch poisoning here in New Providence. He also noted that there are 20 possible cases that meet the clinical case definition, but they still don't have laboratory confirmation. It was 2 weeks ago when health officials initially confirmed 4 cases of conch poisoning and advised Bahamians to reduce their chances of becoming a statistic.
The conch poisoning is a sad situation, and we're trying to rectify that right now by asking all conch vendors not to take the conch out of the shell until it's ordered. And let's see how best we can do that. I know a lot of these stores out here are busy on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so a lot of them take the conch out, put it in the bucket, and it be there for a while. And then the bacteria, like Dr. Sands says, it hit the conch, and then it's difficult to even washing it off if you put it in fresh water.
Well, that was the manager responsible for the Cay Fish and Food Vendors Association, Gregory Minnis, who spoke with us from Cay today. Minnis says he's hoping that the conch poisoning scare did not deter customers from purchasing the popular delicacy, as efforts are still underway to minimize the issue.
We trust that the patrons will not stop coming to Port of Ski for conch salad, because there are good conch vendors out here who understand the industry and they're doing their best to make sure that their customers are safe.
Well, if you've recently visited the Cay Dock, you may have noticed that efforts are underway to beautify the area and make it more family-friendly. Manager of the Cay Food and Fish Vendors Association in the Department of Agriculture and Marine Section, Gregory Minnis Sr., has assured the public that once finished, Cay will be a place for all to enjoy.
We have seen some problems, like the bathrooms, the garbage. The bathrooms are now being renovated. Of course, we're trying to control the garbage that were all over the place. We are now building some bin area where the garbage bins can be stored in that slab. Of course, the port is doing their second phase, which you see all the curves and the coconut trees and all of that already been planted. We now have all of the pole lights are on. We're trying to get a lighting under the bridge in that dark area, which those lights have already been put up. We're just now waiting for the connection.
While Minnis was unable to say how much money has been earmarked for beautifying the area or when it will be completed, he told us that improvements to the electricity for vendors and adequate parking for customers is also on the agenda.
We're trying to get the vendors to see how best we can get them from off of these generators. And so we just had a major meeting with all the stakeholders, the port, the bridge authority, of course, all the ministers, former minister was a part of that meeting. And so what we want to do is see how best we can get them with temporary lighting. They really want to turn it into a port. And so you have the fast ferry area will probably be straightened up. I spoke to some of the boat owners and they're getting ready to move a lot of those old containers from King. So when you come into Port of Ski, you will not be able to park under the bridge any longer on both sides. You will have to park in the parking lots because there will be signs showing that this area is only for offloading.
The Bahamas has moved from number 93 back in 2016 to number 72 in the United Nations e-government survey for 2018, with the overall theme gearing e-government to support transformation towards sustainable and resilient societies. The survey is published as the implementation of the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda advances into its third year. According to the United Nations website, the survey highlights the many opportunities for deploying e-government to build resilient societies and outline ways in which e-government can advance the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. In the e-Government Development Index, the Bahamas is ranked 72 of 193 countries, and in the e-Participation Index, it's 92 out of 193 countries. Free National Movement Chairman Carl Culmer commending the Prime Minister for presenting the Over the Hill Community Development Partnership Initiative to the world at the United Nations in New York earlier this week. He pointed out that the Prime Minister's Over the Hill initiative, which tackles the underlying causes of poverty, is in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which are a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity. The FNM chairman's statement concluded that with the Prime Minister highlighting his plan to the global body, he's shown the world that the Bahamas is committed to ensuring that all Bahamians have a chance to succeed, while also potentially opening doors to receiving international financial assistance to help in the implementation of the Over the Hill development plan. Continued growth is forecast for the country's premier tertiary level institution, the University of the Bahamas, as Dr. Rodney Smith says the campus strives to stay on top of technology and provide the course offerings students need. He told our Cleopatra Murphy what's next at UB.
President of the University of the Bahamas, Dr. Rodney Smith, says the nation's #1 tertiary institution is becoming an increasing draw for Bahamian students. While the institution had an enrollment of just under 5,000 students for last year's fall semester, this year that number will be just over 5,000.
What's interesting is that we have Bahamian students now who are transferring back home to the University of the Bahamas from some colleges in the United States. They want to come home, they see things are happening, they see that the opportunities at the University of the Bahamas are actually greater than, in most cases, the opportunities they have in the United States.
Smith, who has served as president for about 3.5 years now, says UB also appeals to international students, with some 28 countries represented on the campus, a large amount of them Caribbean.
We started having inquiries in 2016 when we transitioned to University of the Bahamas. The name University of the Bahamas itself attracts people's interest. So we've been getting inquiries from European countries as well as North America, South America as well as the United States and Canada, and throughout the Caribbean. So we've always had a very large number of international students.
Since taking over as president, Smith says UB has made significant strides and that growth continues. Aside from renovations to several buildings and throughout the campus, Smith says he is pleased with internal transformations.
We have just transitioned to Banner, which is our new data management system, the most modern in the entire world, used by colleges and universities in 40 countries around the world. We have the absolute latest version of it, so our students can now register online, pay their bills online as well, check their requirements for graduation online, so they can stay at home and actually register online and pay their bills from the bed if they needed to. They can't take their courses from bed yet.
Smith says that is a direction the university hopes to head in the future. Although UB offers some online courses, he says the university is working to expand its offerings for students.
We're actually building up the number of courses that will be the online degree programs pretty soon. So we're working very hard to do that now. Out of the provost's office, they are actually working strenuously to bring in our new graduate programs as well. We plan in years to come, very shortly, we'll be introducing several new master's degree programs, and then we'll be introducing our first doctoral degree program.
Smith says the university so far has accomplished about 10% of where he knows it can go, and students should anticipate much more moving forward. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Bahamian musical legends Ronnie Butler, King Eric Gibson, and John Berkeley Peanuts Taylor will forever have a presence at the University of the Bahamas after statues of the men were unveiled at the inauguration of the university's Legends Garden last evening. Family and friends of the musicians gathered at the university campus for the event, some taking the stage to sing the songs of the musicians and reminisce on the lasting impact they have made on Bahamian music. University of the Bahamas President Dr. Rodney Smith says the honor is historic and significant as the university moves to become the cultural mecca of the Bahamas.
We intend for this area to be the performing arts hub of the university and in the country as a whole. So we're very happy about this event. We're inviting the public to actually come during our normal working hours to explore this garden, to experience these three statues face to face, up close, in the reality of what their lives actually meant for our country.
In honor of his father, former Minister of Labor Shane Gibson announced the establishment of an annual $5,000 King Eric Gibson Scholarship for a University of the Bahamas student. After opening the Legends Garden, Dr. Smith says there are plans to further highlight Bahamian culture across the university campus.
We have been very fortunate in that we recently hired Mr. Antonius Roberts as our university arts curator. And Mr. Roberts is actually going to be moving throughout our entire campus and creating the kind of cultural atmosphere that enriches the university campus.
Well, still ahead tonight, the Urban Renewal Summer Camp 2018 is now in the history books. And corporate Bahamas donating some much-needed equipment to NEMA. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell, fueling journeys that matter. Summer promotion.
My name is Dawn Pinder. I work at Regular Chocolate and Cigar Company. I am the inventory manager. I have been a customer of Commonwealth Bank for the past 3 years, March 2015 to be exact. At this time, I have a loan with them. That was the reason why I went to Commonwealth Bank. And I now have my checking account and my savings account with Commonwealth Bank. It was easy, simple. They trusted me. I didn't have any accounts with them and they gave me the loan. I will recommend Commonwealth Bank to my friends. I have actually recommended it to a few of my co-workers here that have had the exact same experience that I've had at Commonwealth Bank. I would definitely say that Commonwealth Bank is the bank for the Bahamian people.
When school ends, BTC summer vacation begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
I have flying overseas and when she touch down, she not stop call me. And I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no feud like a Bahama. Me fix them.
Freedom to mix and, of course, mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summer Vacation for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more.
Okay.
BTC, the bigger, better network.
Here comes the lucky guy who won a date with Fanchon to his prom.
KFC got the big meal, freshly handmade every day for real.
Made fresh every day?
What I said, what you take? KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a real big deal. KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a
now that's a big deal.
Hey, it's a real big deal. Hey, it's a real big deal.
Now, Vanessa, you look stressed out.
Girl, listen, I here on my little piece of lunch break trying to pay these bills. I gotta go head to BTC, then I gotta go fly to BEC, and then I gotta go swim to water and switch.
Girl, look, save your time and your gas, all right? Make one stop. How? Take your backside to Cash and Go. You pay all three of them bills one time. It's one line, one place, with a bunch of locations.
You think I should go now?
Vanessa, you ain't reached yet? Cash and Go. Fast, free, convenient. Call 322-CASH for more information.
Extraordinary could be right there in front of you, without you even knowing it. It's something unique, rich and rewarding, full of character. A bold expression of flavor like no other. Discover extraordinary flavor. Guinness, made of more.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
There's some good news for Long Islanders. Measures are being taken to implement or eradicate the need, rather, for them to travel here to the capital to renew their passports this busy summer travel season. Member of Parliament for Long Island, Adrian Gibson, explains.
Long Islanders at present fly to Nassau, get hotel, rent car, just to renew passports. We think that was a little onerous. This budget, it includes a kiosk for Long Islanders. We're also going to hire a local to operate. So what Long Islanders will be able to do then is go there, put in their passport information, get their passport renewed, as opposed to taking that flight down. So they can just drive to their nearby administrator's office, and that fixes that.
In other news tonight, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force transporting 2 Dominican fishermen to the capital after they were apprehended for fishing in Bahamian waters Wednesday afternoon. While on routine patrol, the HMBS Lignum Vitae intercepted a Dominican skiff with 2 Dominicans on board in the southern Bahamas. The men were taken into custody as the Marines continue to search the area. This is the second apprehension of Dominican fishermen by the Defense Force within the past 2 weeks. Defense Force Commodore Captain Tellis Bethel maintains that the Defense Force will continue to apply pressure in monitoring and apprehending those who violate our marine laws. In news from the courts tonight, the Court of Appeal has affirmed the conviction of 22-year-old Errol Knowles, who is serving prison time for murder, armed robbery, and attempted armed robbery. During his hearing, he asked the court for an extension of time to appeal his murder conviction on the grounds that the judge put pressure on the jury to return a unanimous verdict of guilty on the murder charge. However, the court dismissed the application, noting in its written ruling that there was no alleged irregularity and that the judge was just seeking to clarify a position which emerged once the jury had reached its decision, which was contrary to the instructions given them during the summation. Knowles remains behind bars. Well, 3,000 children around the country participated in this year's Urban Renewal Summer Camp. Crystal Darling attended today's closing ceremony at the Evangelistic Temple.
A number of urban renewal centers across the country have been busy conducting an urban renewal summer camp for children of all ages. Under the theme Urban Adventures Exploring Our Cultural Heritage, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, Patricia Francis, told participants at the closing ceremony of the Urban Renewal Summer Camp Friday that one of the primary goals of this year's camp was to teach developmental skills, while Minister of Labor, Senator Honorable Dion Folks, who spoke on behalf of the Prime Minister, added that the program's educational aspect was also beneficial.
The whole idea was to ensure that they walked away from this camp with some skill. The skill might have been making some type of craft. It might have been the straw basket. It may have been the shell craft. Any number of things that we call Bahamian that they can in the future use as an opportunity for entrepreneurship. We plant the seed.
One of the main things that interests me is the whole aspect of cultural appreciation. All of the young kids that you see here today, over 2,000 of them, were exposed to our national symbols, for example, the flag, the national tree, the national bird. More importantly, they also learn a lot of cultural things during this session.
Supporting the children of his constituency, Member of Parliament for Fort Charlotte, Mark Humes, says educational camps like this continue to keep children occupied during the summer months.
Idle hands are the devil's playground. And it's important that we engage our youth. In addition to occupying their idle time, they also learn valuable skills that they can take at each level of their lives. And so I think that's one of the most important reasons. There's a lot of camaraderie and friendship, of the individuals in the community when they come together like this. And so it's also good to foster their ability to interact, their social skills as well.
Two urban renewal campers shared their favorite parts of the summer camp experience with us.
I was able to meet new people and socialize. And I actually made at least 3 or 4 best friends. I love making pillows, as that's my passion. Between cooking and making things, I love making pillows.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
Fidelity Bank Bahamas has donated 300 emergency kits to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. It's to assist with hurricane preparedness. Each kit includes a flashlight and batteries, plastic bag for important documents, first aid kit, cell phone charger, multi-purpose knife, radio, a list of emergency contacts, and other essentials. Chairman of Fidelity's Internal Audit Donations Committee and Chief Compliance Officer Tangela Albury made the donation.
As part of Fidelity's community giving initiatives, we thought it was important to support NEMA's efforts in making persons in the community aware of the preparedness needs during the hurricane season, and certainly help with getting them ready. So we've partnered with NEMA over the last few months to identify a list of critical items needed for hurricane preparedness. We were able to source those items as part of several hundred hurricane kits.
National Emergency Management Agency Director Captain Stephen Russell was grateful for the gesture.
If you need to move, you just grab your package and go, whether you go into a shelter or you go into some other place where you would stay if you find that your home, your property is most likely to be compromised. And some handy items that are there that can really serve a very good purpose as you try to weather a storm or immediately in the aftermath of a storm. I'm really truly appreciative of the fine gesture. I'm quite sure the persons, whether senior citizens, persons from our disaster committees throughout the islands, as well as persons that will be identified by the Department of Social Services who would need them in various communities. So
well, in news from our #1 industry, the Ministry of Tourism's Junkanoo Summer Festival has been drawing thousands of residents to Arawak Key. And this will be a treat for you because there will be lots of music and cultural expressions to enjoy. Some of the best entertainers in Bahamian music will be part of the event. We'll hear music from back in the day and music, some of the current music that we've come to love. We're going to speak in just a minute with one of the organizers of the event who also has a great voice that we've become accustomed to. We're joined tonight by Entertainment Director, Mr. Ronnie Ambrister. Good evening to you, Mr. Ambrister.
Good evening.
All right, so tell us about the fun that you're going to organize for Arawak Key in the weekends ahead.
Well, tomorrow night is going to be a great night. Tomorrow night is dubbed the Cat and Fiddle Night. And that dame came up through the Cat and Fiddle that was over the hill on Nassau Street for many, many years and was the most popular nightclub here in the Bahamas and around the world. Now, performing tomorrow night, we have Legacy Band. Legacy Band is headed by Pat Carey, and I call them an all-star band. And tomorrow night, performing with them, we have Paul Hanna, who's a fantastic entertainer, Jim Duncan, who we know from King and Knights, fame, and also Tony Seymour Jr., along with regular shows that used to be in the Cat and Fiddle, great dances, great choreography.
Now, it sounds like you're trying to bring back the good old days, but I'm sure we're going to have some modern talent in there as well.
Oh, definitely. We want to bring back the good old days. We have the modern talent to show you what was happening in those days.
All right, thank you very much. Musical legend Mr. Ronnie Ambrister joining us tonight. Well, stay tuned. There's much more news to come. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
I'm Belinda Payne, and this is your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Wrap. The local market ended this week with 28,610 shares crossing the exchange with 17 trades to accumulate to a value of $153,272.16. 9 out of the 20 publicly traded companies experienced activity this week, resulting in 4 price advancements and 2 price declines. The lead advancer for the week was Commonwealth Brewery, trading 1,000 shares to close up 4.59% to $11.40 per share. The other advances were Focal, trading 4,405 shares to close up 1.1% to $3.69 per share. Finco traded 2,625 shares to increase 0.47% to $6.35 per share. And First Caribbean traded 3,250 shares, increasing by 0.33% to $9.13 per share. The lead decliners for the week were Fidelity Bank, trading 2,000 shares to close down 2.17% to $11.25 per share. And Commonwealth Bank traded 8,150 shares to close down 0.97% to $4.09 per share. In local market news this week, AML released its unaudited financials for the quarter ended April 30, 2018. The company reported a net profit of $467,000 compared to $1.8 million in the previous year. The decline in net profit was attributed to the expenses associated with the opening of Solomon's Yamacross store and the close of Carl's Jr.'s, as well as increases in energy costs and shrink. To view the company's financials, you can visit bisexbahamas.com. In other news, Commonwealth Bank announced the retirement of its president, Ian Jennings, after 34 years, effective July 31, 2018. Mr. Winder will succeed Mr. Jennings as president. Here's your well tip for the week. Here are 5 specific pieces of financial advice that can have a positive influence on your financial practices. 1. Most people who overspend their income do so in one of 3 ways. Too much house, too much car, too much entertainment. Reduce your unnecessary expenses and save the excess. 2, begin your marriage living on just one income. 3, buy your car with cash. 4, if you can't keep a monthly budget, use a spending plan instead. 5, 1 extra monthly payment per year on your mortgage shortens the length of your loans by years. Following these guidelines can lead to better money management. I'm Belinda Payne, and this has been your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Recap.
We start with a yes, but when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel anywhere. Fly on any airline, anywhere, and anytime, with no blackout dates. Plus, with just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
What is a promise? A promise fulfilled can mean so much. A bond, a commitment, a vow. It's a yes in a world of maybes. We made a promise to you, and we delivered. Our superfast LTE network is now on every island. And every day we invest in local communities and technology so we can deliver the best of everything to you. Our promise is our guarantee. And now we promise our best is yet to come. Alive, believe in best.
It's Junkanoo Summer Festival time again. Delicious food, drinks, cultural games, races, kiddie corner, culinary demonstrations, the rhythm band, spank band, Falcons, the world-famous Valley Boys, One Family, Saxon Superstars, Roots, and much more. Bring your entire family to Arawaki every Saturday in July and August 4th, 1 p.m. until. For more information, contact the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism and Aviation at 302-2000.
This is Junkanoo Summer Festival. Independence Day, sunny days, regattas, and homecomings are all a part of Bahamian summers, as are the weekly specials at Super Value and quality supermarkets. Feliz Ready Cut Macaroni 400-gram box, 99 cents. Whole chicken wings, $1.59 per pound. Kraft salad dressings, 8-ounce bottle, 2 for $3. Joy Dish liquids, 30-ounce size, $2.99. Sweet cherries, $3.99 per pound. Carolina Pride ham, 10-ounce size, $2.99. Bahamian and proud, that's Super Value and quality supermarkets.
We've all got plans for our golden years. Unfortunately for many, this may just be wishful thinking. To generate an annual income in retirement of $70,000 for 20 years at a rate of return of 5%, with inflation running at 3%, requires more than $1.1 million. So how do you save that much money? Many companies provide a group pension plan to help their employees by deducting an amount each month from their pay to contribute to the plan. Personal Pension Plan, or PPP, is similar to a group plan, but offered only to individuals. These plans offer many of the same benefits and features. Contact us for more information on pensions.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, keep doing it. Percy's Pension Plan, dream big win.
Hey, JK. Child, I don't know how you just do it. I'm struggling this month, and my check ain't reach yet.
I catch one little break. I get PPP for a year.
PPP, what's that?
Percy Pension Plan. Island Games get 5 pension plans, and you could win a check every week for a whole year.
Really? Well, how you just do that?
Here, see? Let me show you.
From the friends you can trust, if winning is a must, come play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So
we ain't feeling no tension, cause we get Percy Pension.
Ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
The
Bahamas, striping group of companies providing students in Inagua with school supplies to start off the new school year come September. Company CEO Atario Mitchell says every year they reach out to the community, and this year, while working in Inagua, they decided to provide the students there with some tools to assist in their educational journeys.
Well, we see ourselves as a corporate citizen, and it's always good for corporate Bahamas to give back. We use back to school as a way to give back because we know times are hard out there, and this is one less thing that the parents should have to worry about, where they're going to get their book packs and pencils and pens from. So we just wanted to be a good corporate citizen and lend a helping out.
Island Administrator Julita Ingram says she was grateful for the donation.
I'd like to say a special thank you to Bahama Striping Group for considering the students of Matthewtown, Inagua, for giving us the packages with books, pencils, and pen. I know we have 200 plus students between primary, because it's an all-age school for primary, and to 12th graders. So it will come to those parents, particularly single parents, or those persons who are unemployed in the community of Inagua at this time with
Well, there are scores of pets up for adoption at the Bahamas Humane Society in Chippenham. In fact, you can take a dog or puppy home possibly for free. Jimenita Swain visited the center today.
That's probably the sound of an anxious dog looking for a new home, but there are hundreds of pets available for adoption at the Bahamas Humane Society. The woman behind the adoption process is Fiona Moody.
Well, right now we have roughly 160, maybe 170 dogs and puppies, and about the same cats and kittens. So we do have a full house, but we do have a steady flow of animals, pets going out. Due to the summer vacations, kids are home, and it's the ideal time to do an adoption.
Moody says she's optimistic that many animals will find a new home. In fact, many are ready to go right now.
All of the puppies in the puppy section could go this weekend, but we have 5 of them that we've detailed. They could go right now, today, and they're about 4 months old. They're pot cakes, spayed and neutered. All of our animals have to be spayed and neutered before they leave. They've had all of the 4 of their puppy vaccines and a rabies vaccine. But ahead of that procedure, we would have to have had done a yard check. We have to check that you do have a properly secured, fenced-in yard with your gates closed, please.
The puppy area and the yard seems inundated with new pets just waiting to be taken to a new home. And just in case you're wondering if a cost is attached,
right now we're doing free dogs and puppies for the month of July. So you can come do your application at any time between 8 to 4 or some days 8 to 5, but the adoption hours are during the week 11 till 4 and on a Saturday from 10 till 4.
So as Fiona told us, Reggie and many others are ready to go and to find a new home. So all you need to do is fill out an application form and ensure that your home is pet ready. Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Well, stay tuned. There's more news to come. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Debit card, you can be in the know right now. Turn on notifications for your Visa card from CIBC First Caribbean, and you will know every time your card is used. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day.
It is summertime, which means it's the busy travel season. So before you head off on your vacations, BTC would like for you to know that we still have the best roaming rates, which will make your vacation that much better. Okay, so go ahead and tell us, how do you top up?
So there are multiple ways to top up while you're traveling. The easiest way is going on to our BTC website, and on the main page, just in the right-hand corner, it says top up. And so you can click on the top up icon, and it will take you through the steps of putting in your information so that you can top up your account utilizing your credit card. If you don't want to use the BTC website, you can call into our call center, and you can provide them with credit card information, and they can top up your account for you. When you're traveling, our 225-5282 number is completely toll-free. There's no new number, there's no long-distance fees associated, and so if you're having problems while you're traveling, if you need to top up while you're traveling, you can simply dial the same number that you use to contact BTC when you're in the Bahamas. You use that same number, 225-5282, and get in contact with any one of our agents.
We covered a lot of information here, so if you have any additional information that you need to know, please feel free to call our customer helpline at 225-5282. I'm Corvell Pyfrom, and we'll see you next BTC Connection.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day.
All right, it's time for a check of how your weather is shaping up this weekend. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Hey there, Basil.
Hi, Keisha. It was a scorcher today, and tomorrow expected to be pretty much the same. And right now we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Tool, Key and Abaco, also Marshall, Abaco at 86 degrees, Harbor Island 85, Bimini 85 degrees, Harbor Island, Eleuthera 84, also in Roxanne, Eleuthera, Otterstown, Cat Island, Staniel Key 85 also in Kemps Bay, St. Andrews, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. San Salvador and Rumkey 84, Georgetown, Exuma at 83 degrees, in Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Maguana, and Ragged Island, and Mercury Column got up to 84. And Matthewtown, Inagua, warmer still at 85, Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwest and Central Islands tonight, the winds will be southeast 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Low tide takes place a little later on at 8:33. For the southeast Bahamas, southeast winds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop. So we'll keep caution flags in place for your boaters in the southeast Bahamas. And then tomorrow, in the northwest and central parts of our country, winds are southeast to south, so there's a clockwise rotation taking place. Speed still holding at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. The low tide will be at 8:45 in the morning, the high tide at 3:11 in the afternoon. For the southeast Bahamas on Saturday, southeast winds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. Caution flags remain. And then we take you into Sunday, where the winds continue to rotate clockwise, swinging out of the south to southwest, and that will usher in a humid airflow at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide 9:38 in the morning, the high tide around 4:06 in the afternoon. For the central Bahamas, the winds southeast 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4. And for the southeast Bahamas, those winds will be up just a tad, 12 to 18 knots out of the southeast with wave heights around 3 to 6 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast. And your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
I'm feeling sorry, cause I didn't play that out. All I want is that sweet juicy crab in my mouth. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. All I want is that sweet juicy crab in my mouth. Oh yeah. Sweet break is great music. Let me tell you how I was feeling. Let me show you what's going on. Let's go down the bush.
And that's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 15 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. For some people, asthma is a minor nuisance. For others, it can be a major problem that interferes with daily activities and may lead to a life-threatening asthma attack. Asthma is a condition in which your airways narrow and swell and produce extra mucus. This can make breathing difficult and trigger coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath. Asthma symptoms range from minor to severe and vary from person to person. Asthma signs and symptoms include shortness of breath, chest tightness or pain, trouble sleeping caused by shortness of breath, coughing, or wheezing, a whistling or wheezing sound when exhaling. Wheezing is a common sign of asthma in children. Coughing or wheezing attacks that are worsened by a respiratory virus such as the cold or the flu. For some people, asthma symptoms flare up in certain situations like when exercising or doing physical activity in the workplace where chemicals, gases, or dust can be irritants, and asthma can be triggered by allergies. If you have been diagnosed with asthma or suspect you may have asthma, please see your doctor regularly and your condition can be monitored and treated. Severe asthma attacks can be life-threatening. Work with your doctor ahead of time to determine what to do when your signs and symptoms worsen and when you need emergency treatment. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
At Outback Marathon Mall, there are no rules, and that's just right. We are the tasty and affordable choice for both indoor and outdoor dining, watching the big game on big screens, or just having a few with friends at the bar. Our friendly staff at Outback love to make your family dinners, lunch meetings, hangouts, and birthday celebrations a blooming good time. Dine in, take out, or have us bring Outback to your event with just a call. At Outback, there are no rules, and that's just right.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
Need insurance for your valuables? Shield Insurance is the answer for you, offering friendly, professional service at competitive prices. Our experienced staff at Shield Insurance work hard to ensure that you get the right coverage for your car, home, or business. Now introducing our new premium financing program, designed to make it easier for government workers and employees of approved businesses to receive car and home insurance. Visit Shield Insurance on Thompson Boulevard or call 356-7202.
At Outback Marathon Mall, there are no rules, and that's just right. We are the tasty and affordable choice for both indoor and outdoor dining, watching the big game on big screens, or just having a few with friends at the bar. Our friendly staff at Outback love to make your family dinners, lunch meetings, hangouts, and birthday celebrations a blooming good time. Dine in, take out, or have us bring Outback to your event with just a call. At Outback, there are no rules, and that's just right.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. History made today on the IAAF Diamond League circuit in Monaco. Shawnee Miller-Weibo running a world-leading time, and she broke the national record in the women's 400 meters, crossing the line in 48.97 seconds. With that performance, Shawnee became just the 10th woman ever to run under the 49-second barrier. The old national record of 49.07 was held by Tony Williams-Darling, and that was set back in 2004 in Berlin. Also competing today in Monaco was high jumper Donald Thomas. He finished 5th in a tie there, clearing 7.5 1/4. On to some tennis news now. Team Bahamas finishing up pool play today at their Group 2 Fed Cup tie in Ecuador. A perfect 3-0 after sweeping Bermuda. Danielle Thompson taking to the court first. She scored a 6-love, 6-1 victory. In the second rubber, Kerry Cartwright not dropping a game. She won 6-love and love. As for the doubles, Simone Pratt and Sierra Donaldson, an easy straight set win there as well, 6-1-1. The Bahamas now on to the promotional round tomorrow against the host as they look to get back to Group 1 in 2019. After losing 4 straight games, Freedom Farm ending their Little League Baseball World Series Caribbean qualifier on a high note in Puerto Rico. Earlier today, Freedom Farm able to avenge a loss from earlier in the tournament, beating Aruba 6-1 in the consolation game. Freedom Farm finishing up tournament play at 500 with a record of 4-4. Competition underway for Team Bahamas at the Central American and Caribbean Games in Colombia. Swimming up first, and Joanna Evans making a splash in the pool, touching the wall first in her heat of the 400 freestyle in 4:16.33. That's the fastest qualifier heading into tonight's final. 2 swimmers also making it through to the finals of the women's 100-meter breaststroke. Lily Higgs winning her heat in 1:13.32. Laura Morley swam a faster time, 1:11.79 to finish second in her heat there. Elsewhere, Cohen Kerr was 6th in his 100 freestyle prelim in 52.58 and did not advance. The Bahamas also set to compete in the men's softball at CAC, and pitching there will be key.
And I had a conversation about
those bombs supposed to be inside.
And we need to provide ourselves with the best opportunity. You know, we decided that we'll go to some tournaments on our own, you know, so that we can put the Bahamas back on the map in softball.
CAC will be a whole new ball game for this crop of players. In recent times, they've only competed in single tournaments, whereas this is a multi-sports games. Catcher Angelo Dillard spoke about whether or not he expects the different atmosphere to affect them.
Yes and no. No, because end of the day, the game is the game. The game doesn't change between the lines. You play it for what it's worth. You put your best 9 out there, and you go out head to head. From a standpoint of it being a big tournament, yes, it's a major tournament. CIC is a major tournament for this part of the world, and the level of play is definitely going to be up there. But I think we can match it without a doubt.
Some of the basketball world's biggest stars coming together last night right here in the 242. We get that story from Amajal Knowles.
Well, the Kendall Geologic Gymnasium was the place to be last night as it played host to the annual Jeff Rogers Fun Night and Celebrity Game, a game that included NBA champion Klay Thompson and recently signed Memphis Grizzlies guard Shelvin Mack, Among the spectators, though, there were some big names as well. They include Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis and recent Bahamian #1 draft pick DeAndre Ayton, who's back home in the Bahamas for the first time since being drafted last month. After signing some autographs for a few eager fans, we caught up with the young phenom outside the gym who gave us his thoughts on the game.
That's my second time going to that celebrity game. Just seeing Klay Thompson and his brother and, some of the guys who played in the Bahamas as well. Just give back and, show the kids some love, show the kids a lot of love, and just inspiring them and just being there and giving that opportunity, especially with the Prime Minister coming in and showing a lot of love. And, just meeting him for the first time was just a huge opportunity. It was an honor.
Ayton also explaining how his recent draft selection impacts the future of Bahamian basketball.
Basketball is, along its way. It's a long time coming. There's a lot of potential in this small island. There's a lot of kids have a great passion for this game of basketball, and once we keep working hard and representing themselves as individuals and having a pride in their country, we'll be perfectly fine.
Now, as for the rest of the night, viewers were entertained by a series of drills put on by the young campers before the big game. Now, Clay and his team did start out firing, but ultimately the hometown Gray team led by Junkanoo Burrows was ultimately too much for Team Blue as they secured the 93-89 win. For ZNS Told Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
The Independence Valley 8-ball tournament taking place this weekend at the Boom Boom Room on 6th Terrace, Centerville. Singles action got underway earlier today.
Each individual player will play to defend their own name and their own rank. And then Saturday we'll start the team event, which is going to be consisted of 5-man teams, 3 rounds. The highest score moves on to the next round.
64 players from various islands: Freeport, Abaco, Long Island, and Nassau.
We have the best of the best here. We have everybody has won a championship, who's been taking part in any major championship is here. So we expect some great play over the next 2 days.
Over $4,000 on the line for this weekend for singles and doubles.
The tournament is being held in honor of Sydney Captain Easy Bain, who first brought Valley 8-ball to the capital back in 1994. And make no mistake about it, Captain Easy is a part of the field competing.
I've been away from pool for a while, so they call me all kind of graveyard. I came out of the graveyard and I'm like milk that expired, and they said all of these things, but now I'm here. And I'm telling you, I'm going to make my best effort to try and win it and let the young guys know, old broom, sweep the room clean. New broom, how to learn where the corners, where the dirt is in the corners to clean it. So they'll get a taste of what Captain Easy is all about.
For those of you who think Captain Easy has lost it, he gave an example of what he can still do.
This shot seems to be impossible because this is like a football shot. The 8-ball is going in that pocket over there, okay? You see, it has all these balls blocking it, but the 8-ball, these are the offensive line. They will get them out of the way so that the 8-ball can go straight in there untouched. There goes.
The greatest Bahamian boxer of all time and former world champion Elijah Obed will be laid to rest tomorrow following a service at Golden Gates Outreach Ministries on Carmichael Road at 11 a.m. Interment will follow at Lakeview Memorial Gardens. And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We want you to press and clean the super. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring on your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring on your children's clothes. Super wash. ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app.
Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
You thought it was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light, 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we take you right to the tropics. Nothing is happening in the tropics. We still have those strong upper level winds and the Sahara dust, which continues to keep a lid on development, which is always good news. On our satellite picture, we have that low to mid-level trough that is backing off towards the west, but still producing some showers and thunderstorms over parts of the northwest Bahamas. We expect a little bit more clearing tomorrow, but all of this wet stuff should return Sunday night heading into Monday, when we expect some heavy rainfall on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Partly cloudy and warm conditions tonight, much drier than it has been. Low temperature getting down to a warm 79 degrees. And tomorrow we're looking at partly sunny, hot and very humid. High temperature of 90 degrees. The extended forecast keeping you pretty nice through the weekend, but those temperatures are going to be up there. Heat index holding around 104, 105 degrees right through the weekend. And then as we get into the early part of next week, you will see the clouds start to roll in come Sunday night heading into Monday, and the rains will be coming down quite heavily for the early part of next week.
That's more of the hot stuff. Thanks a lot, Basil. Well, that does it for us in the National Report. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in and have a great weekend.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.